Good morning. Sorry for the just trying to figure out. I had evidently inadvertently clicked on start recording, and besides start streaming. So, alrighty. Looks like we're good. I can see some. Can see my mic. I can see audio. We're done with you. Okay, we are in Mexico. I am using a scenery pack called. For X-Plane called Total Mexico. And I've been using this scenery pack for a little bit. I've been testing the X-Plane 12.1.0, the Alpha series. And I've been using Total Mexico to test. And so I had to wait until we got a public beta. Now that we have a public beta, I can actually stream. So I've done this particular flight that I'm going to do quite a few times, actually. And I've actually been happy with the VR performance. Other people are not. And evidently, it's just different systems work differently. So what am I using for VR? So I'm using a Bigscreen Beyond. And with... Hey, Captain Bombasso. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm using the Bigscreen Beyond with the audio strap, and it makes the comfort so much better. The soft strap is kind of a stretchy thing, and so it applies a lot of depending on if you get it tight enough where it's not going to move around, it'll apply quite a bit of pressure on your the facial interface to your face. And what the audio strap allows, not only audio, and they're class headphones. So, hello, Iowa Scotsman. And but they will also, so they're class headphones. Before I got this, I was using a pair of Cosporta Pros, and the sound is pretty similar. So it's more comfortable, and it's an audio solution. So it makes it fairly easy to get in and out of, and so that makes it much more convenient. So like I said, we're in Mexico. We're actually in the suburbs of Mexico City, and the creator of Total Mexico, basically he created this particular airport, and when he was learning how to fly, he basically flew the route that I'm going to take today when they were training. The route involves climbing mountains, quite a few. And I think I got to get to about 13,500 to get over the last mountain. And then that airport's at 3,000 feet. So you climb up to 13,000, maybe 500. And then you got to drop down to about, the airport's at 3,000 feet. So you gotta lose some altitude pretty quickly because the airport's about less than 20 miles from the highest point of the mountain. so you gotta descend pretty quick. And so the reason I picked the most important reason I picked this route was because he had trained this route, and then I picked an airport that he didn't mention that's kind of on the way. So I'll do a touch and go on that airport, kind of in the theme of how I do things. I like, if I'm going to fly to 3 airports, I'll take off from one, touch and go one, do a full stop landing at the end. So total time, I think, will be about 2 hours. So over the course of the flight today, one thing I want to do is kind of go over, and I'm not going to do it now. I want to kind of get rolling here. But I want to kind of go over what my graphic settings are so people understand can understand how I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing in VR as opposed to other people's what they're experiencing. So that's kind of what the goal of today is. And so it's the first time I've actually streamed. I got to fix that. That's not a long message. And I got to fix that. So sorry. I'm trying to figure out what it thinks is a long message. That's pretty crazy. But not right now. So that's kind of what the goal is for today. Okay, so we're running, we're in a Cessna 172, and I intentionally took that. and I intentionally picked this because I could have picked like a Kodiak or the Epic E1000. I could easily get over the mountains. It's much more fun in this thing, where it's and it's the same plane that he was training. He was training in like 150s and 172s. So when we get to the mountains, and right now we're at 8,000 feet, so we're not at sea level right now. When we get to the end, we'll be at 3,000 feet. So, alrighty. So it's a reality expansion pack, and the other cool thing about that is it kind of forces you to kind of pay attention to what you're doing to the engine, because we're going to work this engine pretty hard getting over these mountains. So, without further ado, let me get the beacon light on. I got some power on, and so we'll turn the fuel pump on. Pull you back, give you some. Let's get there we go. We got some fuel. Okay, so we should be okay. Turn you off. Let's see if we can get you to start. There we go. I used to use like a full checklist for because I'm playing the reality expansion pack, but I finally got smart enough that I actually know how to start the airplane without flooding it and all this good stuff. So, okay, so we're going to let the engine warm up a little bit here. Kind of looking where my temperature is. Okay, doke. Yeah, what's OAT? OAT is 19. It's going to be fun to climb the mountain. When OAT is down around 8 or 7, I get better performance than I will right now. So, it's about, I think it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to put a flight plan in. And that little knob, cursor, big knob. So MMJC-MMTA-MMJA. That's our flight plan. So we'll load to go in. And I think that's good. We can get rid of you. Map, we'll put the train on for right now. No, we won't put train on right now till we get out of here. Okay, so engine's a little bit up. Oh, and I forgot. I meant to go through the menu and put some fuel in it, but I didn't do that, so we'll cheat. I ain't gonna shut the plane down just to put fuel in it. That's not making much sense to me. What do we want to get in this thing? I'll go for 4 hours. No way we're going to take that long, but we'll be okay. Alrighty, let me go check the weather and see what it says our altimeter is. 1028. I think I'm 27, so I'm pretty close. Yep, I'm close enough. And it says 80. Yeah, we'll be okay. And of course, during the flight, I will constantly check the altimeter, especially when I'm climbing across the mountain. I want to make sure that this altimeter is actually correct, so that we can, so I don't run into the mountain. So, alrighty, we're gonna take off on runway on. Let me look here a minute. I think it's on 4. Yeah, runway 4. So we'll turn the heading to 4. 3, 4. Okay, we've got taxi light on, beacon light on, plane's warmed up, and I think we're about good to go. When I get down, so we'll release parking brake. When I get down to getting ready to take off, I'm going to pick the increase the throttle, and then adjust the mixture so I can get as much power as I can get out of this thing, because we're gonna need it. And I was told this is the way they used to take off. They used to take off on 4. I was taking off on 22, so I was going this way, and that actually is downhill. But they, he said they used to take off going coming back, so going on the 4. So that's what I'm doing. I kind of go down here a little bit. The next taxiway off is. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me stop down here. Because the taxiway goes down there, but it doesn't, there's no connect to the runway. So it's a little crazy right there. I'm going to stop right here. Looks good, Iowa Scotsman. I'll be very interested to see how you fare. I'm in contact with probably 4 or 5 other VR users, and I'm probably the happiest of the bunch. So I'm not so sure why that's true, but I just know what I'm experiencing. So right now we're looking kind of bad, quite frankly, and not sure why, but we'll just work through it. I can see just a little bit of stutters, just a bit. And it was almost like where I was a bad place. But that changed dramatically. Alrighty. Make sure I don't run down off the hill. And so you can see we got 3D grass here and stuff. He kind of spruced up this airport quite a bit. So we're in Mexico City, so there is a lot of scenery here. So getting out of here is going to be a bit of fun. Looks like we also have haze, and so that also will be a bit of a challenge. Come on. Okay, I'll put parking brake on. So taxi lights off. Nav, strobe, land. Okay, give me some power. Okay, that looks about good. On we go. We got to climb a little hill here before we can kind of get going. Figure where I live at 750 feet, not 8,000. All right, layer speed's alive. Up we go. So I'm gonna go by this hill here, and then I gotta turn. I have Sim Haven disabled. So this is just total Mexico. But you can see, I mean, there is a ton of scenery here. I mean, houses everywhere. So the fact that I'm, yeah, that looks really hazy. You know, the fact she's struggling a little bit here, not really, I mean, she's struggling because I should be getting 37 and I'm getting 32. But I wanted to kind of show, you know, like right here, as soon as I come out of the, come off the airport. But the density of the scenery is just incredible. So, Looks like this may be fun today. I got a flight plan in. I got train on. So we need to get higher. So I'm gonna go. Well, so I'm gonna do flight level change. Because the outside air temperature is so is warm, it's making this plane not want to climb very well. So, but I have train radar on, so basically I can kind of look and go, am I going to clear this or not? Even though haze-wise I may have an issue, but doesn't look too bad. Looks like I got some visibility. So, but once again, I mean, just look at the scenery down there. So we're 20 on the GPU, so it's like 26 milliseconds. And CPU is actually working harder. That will change. As I get out of this area, the CPU will go down. It'll turn green. Right here, not so much. And supposedly, X World will bring even more houses, but I'm like, I'm not sure I want more. But like I said, when we get out of this area, because this is Mexico City, and I did not realize how big it was. And let me check just a couple of things right now. Okay, so I'm 56 miles to the first airport. Okay. So you can see there's like scenery just everywhere. There's scenery here. There's scenery out that way. And one thing I did do to kind of reduce the aliasing of all these houses was I increased my, I'm actually jump over there right now. That's a little hard to see. So I moved that. My anti-aliasing, I moved it from here to here. So I'm at 2x MMA. So you can see texture quality is high, ultra, off. CCAS 100, 16, veg, medium, rendering distance high. Shadow quality, I just turn it down. It's too tough in VR. Cloud quality high. All right, let's get back in the plane. Make sure nothing's going wrong. Nope. Where's my temperature? Oil temperature. It's okay right now. If I keep running at kind of like this, I'm gonna, my oil temperature will start to get too high. But I gotta do some climbing here, so if I get up to 10,000, I'll probably be okay. I probably can level off. So where are we going? Not bad. You can see the green starting to come back in the CPU. So you can see that the CPU workload or frame time is decreasing. So. even more scenery on the other side of the mountain. So we can see over here, there's a high spot over there to my left. That would be there. And, but that's not where I am, so. So for me personally, I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing. It would be nice if it was a little bit clearer, but it isn't like it isn't realistic. I mean, and that's kind of the point is, I want it to be realistic. So, and that's kind of what we're getting. So, yeah. So basically, all I can get out of this airplane right now is about 2,200 RPM, and I don't think I'm high enough that we'll play with this just a little bit. I can make it worse. Yeah, I can make it better. Okay, we'll say that's good. Should have increased my climb rate. So we have to wonder if a little later in the day if the haze will burn off or not. I don't know. Yeah, so if I look at the buildings over a little bit further out, way past where the green top of the mountain, little mountain is, I can see aliasing going on there. But the ones that are closer here, nah, it's like non-existent. So, and when I look at them right here, yeah, there's no. If there's any shimmer, it's real subtle. But also look at what happened. The frame times went up to like 30. So you're kind of going like, okay, well, what changed? I'm actually not sure. Other than there is, yeah, evidently we're still in Mexico City. Because there is a lot of scenery still here, you know. So, and I've went quite a ways, but so it is kind of interesting how this is all working out. So. But the new headset is just, I'm really, really happy. So it was the right choice for me. So let me look. I'm looking if there's anything in my way. I don't see it. You got a crystal, is that correct, Captain Bombazzo? Okay. You mind saying the reason? The one thing that wow, that seems to be a common issue, is that their quality control seems to be poor at best, where they can't consistently make two headsets that are the same. And so it's kind of like 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 playing the slots. I mean, it's just sad, you know. But excuse me. And for a headset that costs that kind of money, I'm thinking you probably ought to do better, you know. But and as far as like the big screen, I've never had. The only issue I had when I originally got it was an IPD problem, and sent it back to them. Within 2 weeks, I had it back, had another one back, and it's been solid ever since. So, and the what I probably like the best related to customer support is there's a Discord channel where basically developers and customer support people kind of like hang out. So when you ask a question, many times you may get an answer, you know, within an hour or two, which is, you know, as the things to try. And then if it doesn't work, then you on Discord, you just fill out a ticket on Discord. And then when your turn comes up in the queue, then you'll get help, you know. Months ago now, that queue was pretty long. It was probably, it sometimes could be a couple of weeks. Now, it's probably within a day or two, so. Yeah. So you're not gonna jump on the crystal light? I think a lot of people actually are, because it does look like that is, that does look like that does look like it is certainly an HP Reverb G2 replacement, because you have the inside out tracking, you know, and that kind of stuff. So, so you have all that, and so I think a lot of people are probably going to pick that up. But what I'm not so sure is how soon they can produce one, and how they're going to turn out. Yeah, there's quite a few people that have like Quest 3s, and they seem quite happy. So here's the difference. So now that we're kind of away from Mexico City, look at the GPU frame times. I mean, it's a green bar now, and also the GPU frame times are well down, so they're around like 15. If we go further out, the GPU frame time it'll get under 15. It sometimes will turn green, but that's the difference that scenery can make. And depending on how much res you're running, that has a dramatic impact on how VR performs. So I'm running like this headset's 2480 by 2480, and I think I'm running about native res. Okay, that will help. So 2520. So I'm running at about native res. So yeah, so running like a 99-13900K with a 4090. But I chase high resolution headsets. I chase them. I think I stopped with this one, but when you're gonna run high res headsets, you really need to make sure that you can provide enough power to run them. Because if you don't, it'll be just an unpleasant experience. So like here, when I look out, I can look out quite a ways, because the scenery is a lot less dense. But I can look out quite a ways, and I don't see any shimmer at all in all of these buildings. So that's the difference on if it kind of gets overwhelmed. you know, and so this goes up to like 2025. Then it's just overwhelmed, and it can't do a good job of anti-aliasing to make it look like it should. I mean, like the scenery developer intended it. So okay, so I got a mountain coming up here. I think I'll be high enough, but may need to go up another 500. Where's my oil temperature? 185. I'm good. But that's also the difference is when I come out of Mexico City, I knew when I seen the outside air temperature, the temp, I went, oh yeah, we're gonna struggle a bit to get out of here. But you just have to be patient and just let the plane do what it can do. So what's coming up to us? Okay, looks like I'm gonna be okay. Looks like I got a high spot over to my right, but just a little one. So at this altitude, at 10,000, I'll be okay. And I didn't want to climb too high because the next airport is about 8,100. Let me look. MMJC-MMTA. Yeah, it's 82. So the other thing I want to check is weather. 1026. I'm pretty close. 1027. So it's not off enough to worry about. Yesterday I was doing some testing offline, and outside of right around Mexico City, they had a storm coming in, and I was doing live weather, and it was crazy, and there was like lightning, and I was doing I don't think I was doing a flight plan. I think I was just flying, and but there was yeah, and I did it. No, I did put a flight plan in because I didn't have my pedals and stuff, and my yoke and all that stuff hooked up or on my desk, and so it was just craziness, and actually like flew into this cloud, and then I had the the weather radar on, and I didn't realize that that in the 172 that actually worked, but it seemed to, and so I could actually see when I went into this cloud. I mean, and I could see when I went into it, and I could see how long it was going to take me to get out of it. It was pretty crazy. So it looks like we're going to be just to the right of the high part. So we got 16 minutes to go to the first airport. So I'm using Global Forest version 2, and that allows the trees and stuff to certainly look 3D, and so do we have to get up over that next mountain? I can't remember. No, I don't. No, we don't. We have to climb it after I leave, but this mountain over here on the right, I'm gonna go over that, and I'll be kind of close to it in elevation, but further over past that there's a lake, and that's where this next airport is. It's at the it's right at a lake. So you can certainly look over here and say, yep, that's higher than what we are. We're over there not. And that's where that red circle there is, the red object there is. Saying if you flew there, you'd probably hit the mountain. But it's funny, the difference in terrain here is that in some places it's really, really lush and green, And then other places out here, it's just kind of prairie, like kind of reminds me a little bit of when I was stationed in Arizona, you know, where you could see forever. And it's all kind of flat, a little bit of brush, but that's about it, you know. Where the only place you saw trees were close to water sources. If there wasn't a water source, no, there wasn't going to be a tree. Yeah, and we're just, as we get further from really high dense population areas, everything improves. So. Yeah, when I used to fly back, when I fly around home, you know, there's no way I would have a train on, you know, I mean, there's just no reason for it. And nothing's high enough. The highest thing is probably 3,000, 4,000 feet. That's it. Not 10,000 feet. But then again, when I did spend some time flying in Arizona in the sim, and so I was climbing mountains there, and that's when I actually learned like how do you adjust the mixture and all that stuff to get the plane to actually perform here. And it's kind of funny because even though you're higher in elevation, because you're higher in elevation, you have to lean the plane back. So in all reality, you use less fuel. It's kind of weird how they just work. So we're about 2,500. So I'm right around just under 100 knots right now. So. And the lake is certainly too far to see from here. But it's straight in front of us. So a couple of things about how I sim in VR. You can tell from the camera, I have my yoke clamped to my desk. Of course, my rudder pedals are underneath it. But I can come over here and go here, and at no point have I ever touched my desk. And the reason is I have adjusted the virtual cockpit here to be in front of my desk. So this is the edge of my desk, so you can see the controllers are behind this virtual cockpit. I'm a little bit crooked right now because it should be straight, but it's a little bit crooked, not bad, of where my position is. So, but that allows me to basically fly from the front of my desk. I didn't used to do that. My pedals are hooked up to a wheel stand pro, and so I used to have the wheel stand pro alongside my desk, and I used to pull it out and spin it 90 degrees so it was in front of my desk, and that's how I would fly in VR. That's when I had a Zaytech yoke, and problem became I got a Fulcrum 1. The Fulcrum 1 probably weighs 3 times what the Zaytech yoke weighed, and I wasn't comfortable enough to leave it on the wheel stand pro. I mean, I thought it would just constantly try to slide, try to move, and so I said, oh, okay, well, let me figure out something here. So so I clamped this to the desk and went, what do I have to do to make this work? I thought about a minute and went, wait a minute, that'll work. So just basically move my position so I'm basically closer to the instruments. But if you look, so So I'm on both sides of my yoke right now. And my yoke is the same position as what it would be like in real life. So, so I actually have this virtual cockpit in the correct place, you know, as it would be in real life. And how I set the position initially is I pull the yoke back and make sure that I can get it all the way back and it touches my belly. And I said, that's good enough. And then I position the rudder pedals to match that. So I take the my chair, and I take one leg of my chair, shove it up against the Wheel Stand Pro, and then I have a bungee cord wrapped around the post going up on the Wheel Stand Pro. So I uncoil that bungee cord a few times and wrap it around the post of the chair, and then clip it back against the Wheel Stand Pro post. So when I do that, that means I can't push, the chair won't move. I don't have to do anything else. The chair's got a bungee cord wrapped around it that prevents it from moving. And I can full right rudder, full left rudder. No, it won't. If it moves, it won't move enough to make any difference. So that was kind of the hardest part, to figure that part of it out. And but once I got that figured out, then I'm like good to go. So it takes me probably under 10 minutes from the time I decide I'm going to fly to put my yoke on the desk and set up the rudder pedals and get the R up and running. So it's less than 10 minutes, so it is a non-issue. There was a good stutter right there, but nothing you would see here. It's kind of interesting. When I move my head, for some reason the frame stopped and then it moved. Not sure why. It doesn't do it all the time. Not all the time. Now I have friends that if they have like Avatab up, they showed me like on the micro profiler, like it's pretty often that all of a sudden their frame time will just increase by 4 times. Like say mine's like 13, it'd be 50. I mean, it's kind of like just up and down. It's like, what on earth is that? And they got a bug report filed, so good luck in finding that. So, okay, we got to get past this. And then I should be able to descend a little bit here. Yeah, there's my lake coming. Alrighty, let's take the altitude down to 9,000. Yeah. Point level change. That's not what I was looking for. Oops. Like we're not VFR legal right now. Didn't think this cloud was too big. Yeah, it isn't. I got the other side of it. So the lake's right out there in front of us. We're 10 miles away from it, so I'm just doing like a gradual descent. Set altimeter 1031.
Altimeter 1031.
So I wanted the altimeter to be set pretty close, so when I come in and do a pattern, that will be okay. Let me check one thing. One 161. It says the winds are 4 knots at 161. I've got a choice of 1 and 19, so I'm thinking 19 is what I'm going to do. Yeah, so this out here is pretty desert-like. Alrighty, I guess we do my airplane. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 19. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final. Touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Mexico clearance delivery on 122.1. Please repeat your request.
Hilarious. Yeah, this says very good flare butter landing. and it bounced. I like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I'm running it up at 100%. As soon as I get climbed out of here, I'll let you know. I'll get with you. Oh, got to be a heading of 90. Okay. I'm going to try to get past the airport before I click in. I'm not sure what's going on. Even though I think I got my airspeed down low enough, seems like it's still too fast to land. And I'll have to look at the bot and see what it actually was. But with crazy landing rates, it was great. But I mean, if I bounce, I'm too fast. I mean, there's no other way around it. And it seems like it's related to this flying in this area, because in other places I don't have any problem at all landing, you know. So I haven't quite figured that part of it out yet. Okay, how we doing here? I think we're all okay. Yeah. So, yeah, so this is the one they added. They added this here, and I have it at 100%. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Is so quality's maximum ultra off at 100%. This I used to have over here, and I changed it. I put it up here. It makes the buildings look a little bit better. That's 16, middle, max. I want to see the buildings. Render distance high. Shadows off for aircraft only and cloud. So those are the ones I've, that one that added the RASO. That's what I added, so. And like I said, so in, let's see if I can get out of here and not break anything. I think I can. Video settings. So my Steam VR settings, I have it set at 100%. So that's 3560. So that's what, for 100% Steam VR, it gives us headset. And then per application, I have that set at 50. So basically my render resolution, what I'm given X-Plane is 2516, you know. So that's what I'm given X-Plane. And whenever people talk to me about, you know, like, well, I got to set at this percentage, I don't care. What I care about is what is the resolution that you're giving the app, that you're telling the application to render. That's what the headset will have to render. And so whether it's 50% or 100% or 150%, it's the resolution you're actually telling it to render. It's how much work the GPU has to do. And I've kind of learned that. I've been on Steam VR for quite some time. Had an HD Reverb G2 for a short period of time, maybe 6 months or less. And but when it really became apparent was with my Vive Pro 2. The Vive Pro 2 tried to automatically set the resolution for you, and it was terribly annoying, because if you had a few more applications open on your desktop, the resolution it decided to run could be different time to time, and that just become annoying. And so I finally learned that no applications on the desktop at all, none, all closed. And then I could get a consistent resolution that the Vive Pro 2 would be every time. And so we got to climb over this guy. We got I believe that's a volcano. What are we looking at? Huh. Oh. Important to have it on. Yep, we're not gonna make it. Okay, so where am I at? 80. So I'm there. So I'm gonna tell the nose to go up. I'm gonna go to 75. Whoops, I didn't want vertical speed. light level change, nose up. Because when I look over here, it's red, and I'm not going to make it over there. So as long as I can see it this far away, I'll just go ahead and start a gradual climb. And I can kind of, the engine's kind of in the background. It's loud enough for me to kind of know what it's doing. And I can tell that it's still performing, and that it isn't like, actually, like, my airspeed isn't going down. So I'm still climbing at like 250 feet per minute, and I got a ways to go. So I have my altimeter set at 11,000, and trying to think what I got to get over this one. I think I got another one to climb, if I remember right. How far I got to go? Yep, 68. Yep, I certainly do. So this one here, I can probably get over. Well, by the looks of it, it's not at 11,000, but I'm only at 10.4, so we'll see when I get to 11 if I need to go higher. So it's a new experience for me to be flying in this kind of environment where you got mountains to deal with, and then you just use the tools that you have at your disposal to kind of make the appropriate choices and fly safely over the mountains. Now you could go around them if you wanted, but if the plane will do it, why? And yeah, if you look like down there, I mean, that all looks really nice. You know, it's like a small community outside, out in the country here, and but as far as the performance of the sim, I am happy. I am really happy. So, that's kind of why I wanted to fly today. I wanted as soon as because I've been testing down here in the alpha, so I as soon as it went public, it was like the very next day that it lines up with my schedule. I certainly wanted to fly here. So to all who are joining along, thank you so much. And so we got about 42 more minutes to fly. So I got to get over this guy, and as I'm getting higher, the red's getting smaller, but I'm not gonna make it. So we're gonna take go up to 11.5. And flight level change. And the nose up 175. And the auto temp staying nice, like 199. So I've seen it where it's been up to 203, 4, 5. I think even 6. Gets up that warm, rep starts to complain. Says you're gonna hurt your engine if you don't stop doing that. So one thing that was done here in Total Mexico is you won't find any clouds in the basically it's ortho for XP with an improved height map. So all the canyons and all the changes in elevation are much closer to real life. The other thing that was done is all the tiles were both color corrected, and all the clouds that were in the tiles were removed. So you won't see in any of the tiles like a white spot that was a cloud. They're not there. They were all removed. And so the package is like I think $39, $40. Man, I'm happy. I mean, it is when I knew that the alpha was getting closer, we were getting close to a public beta. I had planned on flying in England. I had planned on using the Great Britain, the Orbix True Earth for Great Britain. Here's the downside. They've only released the northern part, not the whole Great Britain. So I was kind of a bit bummed about that, and I don't see any movement. Every time I see they have an announcement, hey, this update. It's kind of like, it's either for DCS or for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's like, okay, you're not helping me any. And then I just happened to stumble onto this, and I went, okay, well this is kind of cool. I've never flown in Mexico, and I actually never, other than Tijuana, I've never been to Mexico, or not Tijuana, Nogales, and oh, they have south now? Okay. When I checked, they did for 12, and so I stumbled into this, and I actually found out that I didn't realize that I had actually met the developer when we were at the Laminar Research Summit in Montreal, and so I kind of made a connection there, and says, hey, and so and then I started looking at like how big this scenery package is, and it's like you could probably put 3 or 4 Great Britons in Mexico. I went, well, that's really cool. so that's basically why I changed is and the other thing is that he had showed screenshots of using Ortho for XP version 1.40 and what the shorelines look like, and they're spectacular. And so what he's going to do is this scenery is going to be updated, so the shorelines will start to look way better. And what Ortho for XP 1.4 and 12.1.0, what it provides. So it's gonna look a lot better. So probably quite a few of these flights, I'm probably gonna redo them with the improved shoreline. So when I'm out in the middle here, it doesn't matter, but the lakes and stuff would matter. So that's kind of why I'm in Mexico. It's for that reason. So, and he's also the developer of a Seneca. And somebody and he asked, and a couple other people asked, well, why aren't you flying the Seneca? I says, because I like single engines. So it's that simple. even turboprop, I like single engines. So I fly like, of course, the Cessna, and I fly like a Kodiak, like a Caravan, like the Epic E1000. I like those kind of airplanes. PC-6s are fun to fly, but I chose not to fly them here because I wanted the challenge of getting over these mountains in a pretty regular airplane, and just to prove that if you have enough skill set, it ain't a big deal, so. And so far it hasn't been, it's sometimes a challenge. Sometimes I barely got over the mountains, but most of the time, no. It's all planning. How soon, like I'm looking at that mountain over there, and that one's probably about a 13,500 thereabouts. And I'm at 11,500, so I've got to gain 2,000 feet of elevation, and probably ought to start doing that fairly soon. 28 minutes to get to the airport, and the airport's on the other side of the mountain. So probably about now we'll take it up to, well, let's go up to 12. And then we're gonna go nose up, get down to, we'll go down to like 80. hello there. I was talking about you. Oh, really? The one on the right? Over, way over with the white cap on it? Or the one right here? Way over, okay. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we're not flying there. Oh, it's white, okay. Your scenery is awesome. Thank you so much. This is so much fun. Thank you. Thank you for dropping by. This is what I'm getting in VR. Check this out. Not a problem at all. Until I go to Flight Sim Expo, I'll be in Mexico. I may do a stream going to Las Vegas, but I don't know yet. But so cool. So glad I can do it for and that it's public. Because I've done this flight probably, let's just 6 or 7 times, and so I kind of like know kind of what I need to do when I need to do it to kind of make it all happen. So, but you actually flew this route in a 150? Is that right? Wow. I can only imagine that had to be a bit of a struggle. Oh my word. So how many horse was a 150? So you just climbed right up to 13,500? Wow, okay. And once you got high enough, then you're okay. Then you dive down the other side from this mountain to land at MMJA, Lucerno. Wow. The difference in the scenery, like here, is pretty kind of desert-like, but the difference of that, or where there's like a lot of trees and stuff, it's amazing how different it is. Oh, okay. So how many hours did you have flying down here? Oh, okay, okay. I found coming out of Mexico City, if the outside air temperature gets close to 20, this thing becomes a bit more gutless. So I've kind of learned that. I can't imagine a 150. Oh, let me show you. Yeah, that's kind of what I normally stream at 11 o'clock, and I looked at what the local time was, so that's about 9. And I went, yeah, that's probably, yeah, that's what I found. That's what I found, because yesterday I was flying, and there was like a storm around Mexico City, and now it's actually flying in the real weather, and got to see the new lightning. Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. And so I had the whatever that's called, the weather radar. So I had it on there so I could see when I was flying through this cloud how long I had to fly before I got to the other side. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. but you could feel the turbulence in the cloud. And I kind of looked and went, oh, there's a red part of this cloud not too far from me, and I could feel the plane getting jostled around. So it was pretty cool. Hmm? So I wanted to show you where my graphics are. So this is basically where I have everything set. I have this all the way up. And that. Of course, Zinc's enabled. So this is where graphics are. So looks like I need that. Yeah, so the plane, I'm using the Reality Expansion Pack plane. And if I run it too hard, the oil temperature will get up too warm and it'll complain. It'll say you need to back off on the engine. But as long as I kind of pay attention to what I'm doing, it works out okay. So. But the amount of detail, like that your height map is given, is really nice. I mean, I can't believe how well this looks. Over there, I mean, you can see all the washes, coming down from that little mountain. Maybe it's volcano, but little mountain. I'm happy. I'm so happy. I have quite a few VR buddies, and I'm the happiest of the bunch. Some of them are really struggling, and I don't have answers as to what allows me to do what I do, and but can't be replicated. But I think there's only one or two or three of us that have a Bigscreen Beyond. And I bought it for the reason that I didn't want any extra software between X-Plane and Steam VR. So there's nothing else. There's Steam VR is what this headset runs on, and X-Plane passes its information to Steam VR. So there's no extra software or anything like that. I personally think that makes a difference. But it's what, when I seen that it was a Steam VR headset and that was a thing, that was just icing on the cake, besides the fact that it's so small. And now that I have the audio strap, the audio solution is resolved. Yeah, I'm quite happy with what I did. So every once in a while, if I turn my head too fast, the scenery will like stop for a second and then catch up. What I don't know is that related to where my base stations are, or is it something else? When I look at these kind of numbers, I'm kind of thinking this isn't the sim. It's got to be something else, because that's pretty spectacular. So, in the same way, you can look down at that village there, and small town, and there's a little bit of shimmer going on that I can see in the headset. Not sure if you can see it in the screen, but just a little bit. With the majority of it, it's not. And so that's the one thing that I did pick up the anti-aliasing slider 1 notch to try to improve that. So, and that seems like that has worked. It's kind of cool. I can actually hear I could hear the engine. I could hear the engine kind of like speeding up, and looked over and went, uh-oh, we're getting closer to yellow. So, okay. So, looks like we're probably going to have to get higher. Let's look at our range guy. What's he say? Oh, you're thinking I'm going to go over it? I better check something. $18. Yeah, that would make sense. Set altimeter 1018.
Altimeter 1018.
Oh, okay. What the only thing I'm having like trouble with is I normally use pilot to ATC, and so it is the Navigraph database, and probably half of the airports that I'm flying to aren't in that database. So normally I would like just pick on an airport, and especially if it says it's got a tower, then I pick on the airport, and ask what the weather is and stuff. But because it doesn't have a tower, and the database doesn't have the Navigraph database doesn't have that airport in there, then I can't do that. So what I've tried to do in the interim is basically I'll look at what the weather says it is, whatever the altimeter is, and then match it. Especially if I'm going to try to climb this mountain, I want to make sure that this altimeter is as correct as I can make it, related to the weather right now, and that seemingly has been working quite well. So. So you're saying that's wrong. That should be inches of mercury in Mexico. Okay. I did not know that. Oh, okay. Okay. I did that once. I think I cleared at like 13,000, maybe 13.5, if I remember right. That's why I keep checking my altimeters, the weather setting to make sure I'm right. Cool. Oh, okay. So when you come up here, you'd go over to the right, the lower part. Okay, gotcha. And that makes all kinds of sense. Hello there. How are you? Yeah, if I have an engine failure right now, I'm out of luck. No doubt about it. Hi, Jeffrey. How are you doing? I'm having a lot of fun. Enjoying Mexico. Making sure I don't run into this mountain. Oh, yeah, we're good. Now comes the fun part. So I got 20 miles to get rid of about 7,000 or 8,000 feet. Yeah, I only do single engines. That might be true. In VR, I have enough trouble just with one engine. So. Oh. Was being a little stupid for a second or two here. Yeah, since I changed the anti-aliasing settings, this city here looks so much better. When before, where I had them one notch lower, it would be shimmering pretty bad. And but now I moved it up a notch. It doesn't shimmer at all. It's pretty slick. We're pretty high right now, but even as I get lower, it doesn't shimmer very much at all. So, in the VR, that's just terribly annoying. It's just tiring on the eyes. So. So Iceman, any timing on when you'll be updating the tiles to take advantage of 12.1? You're gonna wait till it goes gets released, or what's your thinking on that? Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. And you can do that and make it work okay in 12.1.0 and also work in 12.0.9. You could that'll still work together. That was my concern. Really, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't think that would be possible. Correct. Got that. Yeah. Wow. I will do that. Yeah, I think the next time I fly this, I'll certainly go to the right. Makes it a lot easier to get down to the elevation of this airport. There's the airport right there. I am definitely high. So, we'll take it up on autopilot. Gonna go over here on the left a little bit. The airport, I'm gonna land going that way. So I'm actually lined up. So I'm gonna go over on the left and spin around and get set up for a downwind. So hopefully I can do a better landing than I did the other one. Still not understanding what's going on. We have to take some time and just do approaches. Try to figure out what I got wrong. Seemingly I'm carrying too much speed, but when I look at my airspeed, it's not. So, not sure what's wrong. I quite frankly haven't bounced an airplane in a long time, so I'm doing something wrong. And it seems like it started when I started flying down here. So there's maybe something related to that. I don't know yet. But need to do some testing and exploring. So altitude here is 31, so I got to be to 41. Excuse me. Yeah. Alrighty. I think I'm far enough away here. Still think I'm too high. Yeah, we'll get there. Wow. I misjudged this. I was like, where'd the airport go? Oh, there it is. I was worried about that ridge. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 04.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Mexico clearance delivery on 122.1. Please repeat your request.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I am doing wrong. I have no idea. Very, very, very disappointed. We'll have to look at the replay. But that's just disappointing for me. Very, very, very disappointing. It's like the plane wants to just float forever. It just never runs out of airspeed. Even though when I looked at the airspeed, it was like in the 50s. I mean, it's like, really? Huh. Oh, well. Yeah. Okay. Well, could have done better. But we made it. I'm not sure what's going on. It seems like, I mean, the plane like floats forever. Where's a windsock? Let me go look. Is there a windsock here? Yeah, right. Nope. Those days are over. No, I don't see one. So let me check. Let me just check some things. So, 37. So I landed on 8. So maybe legitimately I was on the, maybe I landed the wrong way. That is possible. I'll use that. Yeah, it just, every airport I've tried to land down here, I do the same thing. It's, so I think what I'm going to do, certainly off stream, I'm just going to try to shoot some approaches and just try to get a feel for what's going on. Maybe there's just something legitimately, this is 3,000 feet. I mean, it's not that different from back home, you know, I mean, so, I mean, the ones at 8,000 feet, maybe it is, but that, it just seems kind of odd. And I may try, I quite frankly didn't know that was an option, so I'll take a look. But I'm gonna like do some approaches and try to figure out what's wrong with me. And there's certainly something wrong. And I mean, I've got this nice fancy Fulcrum 1 yoke. There's no reason for what's going on for me. It's just unacceptable. Yeah. No. It's all on me. Well, thank you all so much for stopping by. Well, let's see. We'll get the plane cleaned up here. So I'll turn off the avionics. Hold this back, and all these off. Oh, this was a lot of fun. Landings were disappointing, but I'll get over that. And I'll figure out a way to rectify that. So I've picked out a couple of more flight plans. I think I've got about, I don't know, 3, 4, at least 3 or 4 more flight plans that I'll take off from here, and then I'm gonna fly down the coast a little bit. And so is that volcano when we're sitting here? Or is that something different? That looks kind of cool. Kind of just sitting here. Pretty cool. Well, then I can see it. That's cool. That's really cool. Wow. Yeah, I am, I have to admit, I'm glad I picked what I picked. I didn't tell you, Iceman, when we were getting close to beta, to a public beta. My plan was to fly with Orbit's True Earth Great Britain, and but the problem is they only had at that point had only released North, and so I was a little disappointed because I wanted to fly all over England. And then I stumbled on your scenery, and I went, or I actually watched some of your screenshots, and I was looking at the shoreline stuff, and I was like, well, that looks really, really, really nice. So I says, okay, well, and then I found your total Mexico, and I went, oh, wait a minute, how big's Mexico? Oh, man, I could spend a good month in Mexico. So, because I wanted to kind of start this, especially public beta, before Flight Sim Expo. So that's kind of my goal, is to kind of, I'll just be spending time in Mexico. And as tiles along the coast show up, we'll install them and kind of refly the flights that are along the shorelines to show the improvement. So sounds good. Yeah. Because I've got no plan, and I just kind of been trying to just fly about like what I did today. Fly like 3 airports, do a touch and go in the middle airport, and then fly 3 more the next flight. So, but okie dokie, I'm gonna call it a day. What time is it? Oh, about 1 o'clock. Yeah, it's pretty good. So this is where we ended up with. So the CPU is in the green. The GPU is got green and yellows in it, but and we've only used half of the VRAM. So, as far as an opinion of X-Plane 12.1.0 Beta 1, I think we got a winner on our hands, and it looks nice, and the fact that I can show off this scenery package just makes it so much more fun. So, thanks all for stopping by, and if you like the content, and you can stand watching a crazy person fly in VR that's trying to stream it, please click on the follow button. Yeah, it is for me. I have friends that are not experiencing the same, and so I'm not so sure what the deal is, and it's why I wanted to. Before I shut down, I need to do this. So, whoops, that was not my plan. So I want to do this at the end. So just go over it one more time. That this is where my graphic settings are, and I'm running an i9 13900K with a 4090. So it isn't like I'm running a pretty high end computer, but I'm chasing high end headsets. So and the Zinc's on, and like I said, I turned this up. It was here. And I went up to 2 MSAA, and it made the towns and the buildings. It reduced the shimmer from them by a lot. And then back over here, close this. Back over here. So this is the SteamVR setting. So this is basically 100% of my headset. So SteamVR thinks it should be running at 3560. Then I take a per application setting, X-Plane, and I have that set at 50%. So 2560. My headset's right around that. So I'm running native resolution. So now playing return the game. So I'm gonna turn on the panel just to show. So I'll just boot up the first one. So everything here is readable. I mean, everything's readable. And you can see like how close I am to my desk. And you can see where the controllers. I gotta get this right. Yeah. I had moved my position. So everything here is readable. I mean, I can certainly see it's COM1, COM2, all these little fuel flow, GPH. I mean, I can see all of this. So that's enough resolution for me. There's people that want to run like super sampling at 150, 160, 200. If you have a very low end headset, okay, do that. But if you have a high end headset, I don't see the reason. I don't see where it's going to make it any clearer. But what it will do is kill performance. So, okay, doke. Thanks much. Have a great day. I had a blast. Now need to learn how to land an airplane. Bye bye. Thanks all.